And the other thing I want to ask you, how do you evaluate yourself as the leader of this team this year, and how do you think you can grow in that area?
I just got to be better, with my decision making. That's pretty much it. Off the court issues, affected us as a organization, pretty much. So yeah.
NBA YoungBoy is causing Ja Morant's downfall. If you haven't been living under a rock these past few days, you've seen the controversy involving Ja Morant flashing a firearm on Instagram Live and his subsequent fall from grace. From a promising NBA career to an embarrassing suspension from the Memphis Grizzlies, and it's all thanks to NBA YoungBoy. But before we get into what the rapper has to do with Ja Morant's downfall, hit the like button and comment the secret message when it pops up to receive good karma today. Number 5. Who's Ja Morant and what did he do to get suspended? 23-year-old Ja Morant is a professional basketball player for the Memphis Grizzlies. His spectacular talent and skill on the court have only been compared to great players like LeBron James and Steph Curry. The NBA player was well on his way to making history, having just signed a 5-year, $190 million contract with the Memphis Grizzlies, before things took a turn for the worst. It all began on March 4th, when Morant posted a video of himself flashing a gun at a Colorado strip club while partying with his friends. In the clip, the NBA player was shirtless as he danced with the gun, all while having topless women behind him. He even stood on couches and performed just like NBA YoungBoy in one instance. Ja's careless actions sparked outrage in the NBA community and the public in general. And this is when we first heard fans blaming Ja's behavior off the court on his fanboy-type love for rapper NBA YoungBoy. After the NBA became aware of this video, they investigated the matter and suspended him from a few games, which most felt was just a slap on the wrist for such a serious incident. Ja issued a public apology like most superstars when they get in trouble, and said he was going to a wellness facility to deal with his behavior. But on May 13th, Ja was seen again flashing a gun during his friend's Instagram live video while listening to NBA YoungBoy's recent album, Richest Op. After his friend saw Ja with the gun in hand, he turned the camera away, but it was too late, and everyone had already seen the firearm and taken screenshots. Like many of his videos on the internet, it went viral. Ja flashing the gun again on social media only made it clear to everyone that he hadn't learned his lesson the first time. Ja's recent flashing video comes after a string of incidents involving him with a gun garnered him even more negative media attention. We'll get into all of that in a few, but according to ESPN, this second video was such a slap in the face to the NBA that Ja was suspended from all the team's activities, not just a few games like the first time. Number 4. Morant's earlier trouble. The gun incidents were not the only shenanigans Morant was involved in off the court. Several incidents from the star player have garnered not only the attention of fans and the NBA, but also that of the police. The young star got into trouble after the NBA 2021-22 season, when he was accused of threatening a Memphis mall security guard in a parking lot. Here's where you start thinking, did all the fame and money get to his head? Maybe it did, because only 4 days later, Ja was accused of attacking someone else, this time a teenager. According to court documents obtained by TMZ, the 17-year-old accidentally hit Morant in the face with a basketball during a verbal altercation, which caused Ja Morant to fight and punch the kid to the ground with the help of his friend Devontae Pack. Morant told the police he was acting in self-defense because the teen also threatened to light his house up, which to him meant firing at his house with a gun. But according to the Washington Post, Ja went into his house after the fight and returned with his hand on a gun in his waistband. So it was actually him who threatened someone with a gun that day. That was not the only time Ja acted out while possessing a firearm. Remember his friend Patrick, who helped Ja beat up the teenager at his house? He got into a verbal altercation with Indiana Pacers players that got out of hand. As per The Athletic, Morant and his friends confronted the players after the game and continued the verbal arguments that lasted almost 20 minutes. Then Ja returned to one of his group's cars, and you won't believe what happened next. According to the Indiana Pacers employees, they saw a red laser pointed at them from the car. Though after an NBA investigation, it was determined that they could not corroborate that any individual threatened others with a weapon. Remember, this is one of the many incidents that the NBA has investigated on Morant that have gone nowhere. What do you think the red laser could have been from? All these incidents in Ja's recent gun flashing videos on social media have done little to save his reputation. It got so bad that the players had to do a sit-down interview and set things straight. Before we continue, be sure to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell to be notified of our latest videos. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 2. Ja Morant speaks out after club incident. The gun wasn't mine. After the club incident where Morant was seen flashing a gun, he did an interview with ESPN's Jalen Rose. By then, there had been a lot of backlash from his fans and other famous people over the video, since he was not setting a great example for an athlete of his caliber. Instead, he was seen as promoting gun violence and the thug life to the young boys who look up to him, just so he could be like his favorite rapper, NBA YoungBoy. In the interview, Ja said he went to a counseling program that left him feeling mentally good. He said going IG Live was a horrible mistake, and even denied the gun is his. Ja said, "The gun wasn't mine. It's not who I am. I don't condone any type of violence, but I take full responsibility for my actions. I made a bad mistake, and I can see the image that I painted over myself with my recent mistakes. But in the future, I'm going to show everybody who Ja really is, what I'm about, and change this narrative." But it's clear Ja only did the interview to get the heat off the NBA and his team. But it didn't work. Why? Because a few weeks after the first video went viral, Ja was seen flashing another gun from the inside of his car while on Instagram Live. After this, many fans on social media confidently clowned him for his careless actions and dubbed him NBA Dumbboy. Number 1. Why everyone blames NBA YoungBoy for Ja Morant's downfall. So, where does NBA YoungBoy come in, and why are fans blaming him for Ja Morant's behavior? To understand the rapper's connection to Ja Morant, we must understand who he is. NBA YoungBoy, real name Cantrell Deshawn, is a successful American rapper who made it big in music despite his humble beginnings. His grandmother raised him from an early age, after his father was sentenced to 50 years in prison. Like Ja Morant, NBA YoungBoy used his talent to make a better life for himself and his family at a young age. So maybe Ja sees the rapper's rise to fame similar to his own, and idolizes him. Like Ja, at the height of his success, NBA YoungBoy increasingly got into legal trouble. In 2020, he was charged with gun possession after being found at a music shoot in possession of 14 firearms. The following year, police pulled NBA YoungBoy over to arrest him concerning the 2020 incident, and found him possessing another gun. During his trial, NBA YoungBoy's lyrics about guns came back to bite him in the ass when the prosecution tried to use them against him. These same lyrics are what many think are pushing Ja Morant to act like he's a real thug, flashing his guns in public. Many people blame NBA YoungBoy for Ja's downfall because his music promotes this kind of behavior as cool. In the Instagram Live where Ja is seen flashing a gun, he and his friends are listening to NBA YoungBoy's latest album. It's no secret that Ja is a huge fan of NBA YoungBoy's music. He often quotes the rapper's lyrics in public. It's safe to say Ja is a diehard fan of NBA YoungBoy. After his friend recorded him on Instagram Live with the gun, Ja Morant could be heard saying, "I ain't scared." If you know anything about NBA YoungBoy, he has a similar attitude when faced with such allegations. Ja's lack of fear didn't stop action from being taken by his team, and after this second gun incident, he was suspended from all the Memphis Grizzlies team activities. Social media and the entire NBA Twitter community slammed Ja for his recent actions and wanting to be a thug so bad, like his favorite rapper. One fan tweeted about how NBA's music has destroyed Ja's chance of being the face of the NBA. Ja Morant definitely tripping, cause NBA YoungBoy ain't even good, let alone hype enough to be acting like that over. Another said Ja throwing away his NBA career is a direct consequence of the kind of music he listens to. A third fan said in a lengthy tweet, "If Ja Morant took videos of himself shooting at a gun range and being responsible with his weapon, people would applaud it. It's the whole NBA YoungBoy music blasting, waving the gun all over the place thug life thing that's going to ruin his career and sponsorships." And we couldn't agree more. The main problem everyone has with Ja's actions isn't the fact that he's showing off guns he legally owns, but it's because of how he chooses to showcase the weapon to the public. So there you have it, the real reason everyone is blaming NBA YoungBoy for Ja Morant's recent suspension and diminishing career and reputation in the NBA. What are your thoughts on the matter? Does Ja deserve the suspension for flashing a gun the second time? And is NBA YoungBoy's music to blame? Share with us in the comment section down below. And we'll see you in the next video.